First of all, I have the honor of introducing one of my top students. I think she went through my program about 12 years ago. She's an advanced clinical hypnotherapist and one of my top students. You know, one thing about being a hypnotherapist, those hypnotherapists or those individuals who want to excel are those ones who push themselves, who come back and they do more than what's just really necessary just to become a hypnotherapist. And Gale is in that category. So without no further introduction, I'd like to introduce Gale, and I'm sure this is going to be a great workshop, and I'm glad that everybody's here. Thank you very much. Let's give it.
I am really glad you're here. This is one of the first times I'm presenting Reprogram Your Subconscious, the whole theory, and it's based on what I call reprogramming hypnosis. And this is new theory. And I want you to perhaps recall a poem. It's about the 6 blind men. It's an old poem, and it talks about 6 blind men went to meet an elephant. How many of you have heard of that? Yeah. You've all heard of that? Well, in any case, you remember how each blind man took a different part of the elephant, and when it felt the trunk, and one said, "Oh, it's a snake," and somebody else said, as it touched the tail, "It's a rope," and somebody else who touched the legs, "It's like a stump of a tree," and so forth. And yet they couldn't agree on what was an elephant. Why? Because they all were so stuck on their own perspective, they didn't integrate it and look at the whole picture. Well, this is my perspective. I don't know if it's the tail or the trunk or the ear, but this is my perspective from my 12 years of experience with hypnotherapy. Now, what Dr. Feldman did mention is I'm also a hypnosis instructor, and I have now been able to certify people in reprogramming hypnosis, which is very exciting to me. Let me begin by saying, what is reprogramming hypnosis? We start with, what is the mind? Well, we have heard there's a conscious mind, and then there's a subconscious mind. Well, conscious mind is what we're aware of, what we can remember when we're awake. It's everything that we think that we know on the conscious level. But then there's a subconscious mind, and this is that area that no one really knows exactly what it is. They give descriptions of it, but no one's been able to say this is the pathology in this part of the cerebellum, this is the subconscious mind. No one can really put a true definition. So how do we define your subconscious mind? After my work, I have come to a conclusion the best way is to describe how it works. That's how you describe the subconscious mind. And if anything, we can look at the frequency. So look at the brainwave graph in the chart here, and you'll see that it depicts your conscious mind being at beta. And notice how the lines are up and down like this. It kind of gives you the idea of kind of a more stressful state. But when you go into alpha, the waves slow and widen. They're more curved, they're not as spiked. And then when you go to theta level, there's even fewer waves, which means you're even deeper into another frequency, which is a more relaxed frequency. Now delta, you hardly see any waves, they're fairly flat, maybe there's one spike. Delta is when you're asleep or you're in surgery and you have a good anesthesia working on you. So how does this relate to what we're talking about today? Well, as hypnotherapists, no counselors, depending on what state you're in, we know that we work at the alpha and theta levels. Why do I say alpha and theta? Because in order for a person to respond to you when you're talking and asking them questions when they're into hypnosis, they've got to be awake. If they're sleeping in delta, it doesn't work. So if we look at the subconscious mind as operating on alpha and theta waves, relaxed, it helps clarify what is conscious mind. We know what frequency it's at, and we know it's a more relaxed state. And after all, what is hypnosis? Hypnosis is, first of all, getting people into that relaxed state of alpha or theta. Now, why do I use this? Why do I feel it's important? I feel it's very important because when I tell my clients and explain to them how hypnosis works, it's no longer fearful to them. They understand this is actually science. This is something that makes it very understandable. Hence, we use the comparison of a computer, because the subconscious mind is so analogous to a computer that it makes it understandable for everyone. Even kindergartners are starting on computers in their kindergarten rooms. Some of the people in, the 80s and over category, even my mom was emailing in her 90s. So it covers most everybody. We've heard so many terms and we do understand. So it makes hypnosis so much more understandable when we define it like a computer. The graph is actually based on a 1 second EEG imprint showing the electrical waves in a 1 second frame. So that's literally what it is. I use the definition of reprogramming hypnosis as a new specialty that I created. It's based on the book, Reprogram Your Subconscious, which just came out in 2010. And that is based on the CD that I did for Nightingale Conant in partnership with them. It's actually been a top seller. It's going on 6 years now. And has gone to thousands and thousands of people, and they have a 30-day money-back guarantee. So when they keep it, it means it's working for them. In any case, it is based on experience, because I've seen over 1,000 clients in my office and many thousands more through the CDs that I produce. So I feel reprogramming hypnosis is based on experience and the research I've done and what other feedback that people have given me. Reprogramming hypnosis is a specific plan or protocol, and I say in this situation it's used by a professional because this is applying to you here today. It's something that you can use as a professional hypnotherapist or hypnocounselor to apply in any practice. It's a protocol, and it's used for your client who's in hypnosis. It enables the person to locate detrimental beliefs, mindsets, associations, negative emotions that are stored in the subconscious in what we call our subconscious programs. And you can describe them as faulty subconscious programs. So I'm differentiating between your good or certainly neutral subconscious programs and those we call faulty subconscious programs. And faulty are ones that are detrimental to the person. Faulty might be a belief that they're not as good as someone else, or a faulty belief that I'm not good in math, or I'm not a good driver, or it's unsafe to drive. Those are all faulty subconscious programs. You may call it beliefs, you may call it associations, but we use the term faulty subconscious programs. Why? Because people understand computer language and they go, oh, it's a program I had. So not only do you locate them through hypnosis, find out they're there causing your issue or contributing to your issue, but you're also able to delete them, which is the exciting news. As easy, you can bring a keyboard and show them. I couldn't detach my keyboard, otherwise I'd be here today, and say, here, press down and here's the delete key. Here's the enter key. That's how easy it is to delete that subconscious program that's faulty and to enter in a new subconscious program, the one you really want them to have, or the one they want to have. You see how easy it is already? Would you agree with me? Does it sound easy?
Yes. Sounds great.
Good. Reprogramming hypnosis assists in attitudinal and behavioral modification in an effective, time-efficient manner. It's hypnosis, but the type is reprogramming. It's based on computer technology, computer understanding, and how I'm going to explain your subconscious works in this dynamic. As I mentioned before, it's featured in the book and the CDs. The book goes into a lot of definitions. It goes into a lot of explanations. There are case studies, so that your client, before they even come, if they were to read the book, would understand.